Hi everyone, it's Scott here from That's English School. 今回は何々の頃についてレッスンをしますね。頃というトピックは幅がかなり広いなので、この動画の内容は子供の頃、学生の頃、独身の頃、若い頃、その時代とか、自分の人生の数年間の期間とかですね、昔話をすると、すぐ言いたくなる言葉ですよね。最後にちょっとした宿題を出しますので、よかったらチャレンジしてみてくださいね。今から英語で解説していきたいと思います。And if you find this video to be useful, please give us a thumbs up to support the channel. We often use the word hood. The most popular one which comes up in conversation is childhood. But we can also say babyhood, boyhood, girlhood, and adulthood. They can be used at the beginning, the middle, or the end of a sentence. It's often used in this pattern. In my something something hood, or just my something something hood. Of course, we can change the my to your, his, her, our, their, and Sue's, like a person's name. Let's take a look at some example sentences. Most people can't remember diddly squat from their babyhood. So that's an interesting word. Diddly squat basically means nothing, zero. In my boyhood, I played with a toy called Action Man almost every day. This is the adventurer version. And check out that beard.
Sir, no, sir!
My mum said that in her girlhood, all the girls wore skirts or dresses. Well, this picture was taken a very long time ago, I think. In my adulthood, I've realized the importance of financial stability. So yeah, I've realized that money does not grow on trees. In daily conversation, the one that we use the most is childhood. The other ones seem a little formal, but we really use childhood a lot. In my childhood, things were different back then. Very simple, less complicated. We used to play in the streets. Yeah, we didn't have the internet back then. Oh no, oh my goodness, no. I spent most of my childhood in Devon. Ever been there? No, didn't think so. You're probably too young. Yeah, most people these days, they go to Disney World, Magaluf. Looks like you've only just made your way into adulthood. It only goes downhill from here, you know. Using days is a pretty easy one to use, as it can be used for a wide variety of situations. In my plus period or time in my life plus days. Now you can't use it for everything, but here are some common examples. In my younger days, in my school days, in my high school days, in my university days, in my engineer days, in my Toyota days, in my Germany days. If you want to emphasize the amount of time, you can add back to make it seem like a long time ago. Back in my high school days. If you want to emphasize it even more, you can add way back. Way back in my high school days. It's also common to use the grammatical pattern used to in this situation. Here is a video which I made before about how to use used to. I'll put a link to this video at the end of this video. Okay, let's take a look at some example sentences. In my younger days, I could easily down 10 beers and go to work the next day. So down means to drink something when you're very, very thirsty and you drink it very quickly and all of it. So it doesn't only apply to alcoholic drinks. You could say, I downed a glass of milk, I downed a glass of water, or I downed 10 beers. In my school days, I used to ride my bike every day. So remember, in English, a bike is a bicycle and a motorbike is one with an engine. So we have a motorbike and a bike. So a motorbike is not usually called a bike in English. Do you understand that? My friend said she used to wear loose socks in her high school days. Do you remember them? I lived just outside of LA in my university days. LA, the place where dreams are either made or shattered. In his rookie days, Ichiro Suzuki used to practice harder than everyone else on the team. He made a lot of money in his Wall Street days, and now he lives in the lap of luxury. So to live in the lap of luxury means to live a very rich and extravagant lifestyle. To live in the lap of luxury. In his early days as a singer with Queen, Freddie Mercury had a lot of drama with his bandmates, as we saw in the movie Bohemian Rhapsody. Have you ever seen that one? Good movie, I loved it. Now there is one other pattern that many of you may be thinking about. When I was, when I did. Nani nani no toki. When I was a high school student. When she lived in London. When he joined the company. When they became parents for the first time. What's the difference between these two structures? In my high school days versus when I was in high school. To be honest, not so much. They're very similar. But in my high school days seems like kind of a longer time span. However, when I was in high school sounds more like a shorter period or like one point during that time. But they're very similar. You should use both to give yourself a nice balance. In my younger days, I was in a band with some of my mates from high school. We called ourselves the Sandwich Kings on account of all the sandwiches we ate during practice. A lot of people say your high school days are some of the best days of your life. I guess that's true for a lot of people, but to be perfectly honest with you, my university days were pretty hard to beat. As for the band, well, we tried to keep it going, but as we got on with our lives, we just kind of lost touch with each other. I still love sandwiches though. Okie dokie, it's homework time. You ready? So, I'm going to give you a special question today. So I'm going to ask you a question about this part of the video. Do you remember this part? It was me standing in the park. So today's question is an English question about this, kind of a comprehension question. So it is, okay, what was the name of the band I was in? And why did we give ourselves that name? Okay? この答えをコメント欄のところに書いてください。英語でね。あとは何か聞きたいことがありましたらね、ぜひぜひコメント欄のところに何でも聞いてください。英語でも、日本語でも大丈夫ですよ。Okay, I'm looking forward to hearing from you, and that's all for now. We'll see you in the next video. Thank you.